Hello, everybody. Welcome to Doctor Who. Oh my god.
This is we're not calling the show Doctor Who, are we?
Yeah, no, we are. That is the name of the show. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, that's going to be a little bit awkward for our viewers who are like, "Have you seen the latest episode of Doctor Who?" Like, which one?
Oh, Doctor Who, Doctor Who. Duh. Come on, man.
No, you mean Doctor Who, the show that no one knows about that has got 0 viewers.
No, Doctor Who's got loads of views. It's like top 3 science fiction shows ever. Oh no, wait, you mean Doctor Who? Sorry. My bad.
What would we call it? Unironically.
I don't actually know. This is a great start to a show. Like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
what even is this? What do we call?
Well, I'm sure
Dra-
basic ones are like the Who cast and sure that taken. If you want to do like podcasts with Who in it,
Yeah.
I bet
Yeah.
basic ones are all taken. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
Chat.
See what
Good
ChatGPT
to-
is. Yeah.
They
Can
probably don't
you
even-
make me a unique name
Yeah.
for a Doctor Who talk show?
No. Does ChatGPT like have access to YouTube now? Like, can it check?
I know I can search the internet.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
Cool.
We got Time and Chatter, the TARDIS table, Echoes of Gallifrey,
TARDIS table.
Sonic Banter, the Time Lash Lounge, All Time,
These are
All
actually pretty
Space,
decent.
Wibbly Talky Timey Wimey. It's kind of funny. 2 Hearts, 1 Mic. It's also very funny. Temporal Transmission and Inside the Police Box.
There are quite a few at like the start. I kind of liked the like
I'll send you the list.
TARDIS table or whatever.
The TARDIS table. Echoes of
Yeah.
Gallifrey.
Echoes of Schmalafrey. Got him.
That's right.
Uh,
That's Earth in Time Lordian language. Schmalafrey.
yeah. Can make it just like a stupid anagram like TARDIS, but no. SDTT wait, SDTDT split
The fuck?
P
Sounds like we have an
Dracandre
STD.
talk Doctor. Oh wait,
Bro.
that's not
Bro. Okay. I mean, names aside,
the two.
we're gonna watch. What is it? The first episode of the new season of Shooty. Is that right?
That's right. We are going to be watching Doctor Who Season 2 / Series 15, Episode 1, The Robot Revolution.
Wait, so it's season 2 divided by 15.
That's right. Did I ever like bring up that like they restarted the numbering? I think I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like,
He said it was gonna be like a soft reboot
well,
or a hard reboot.
yeah, that's what it's kind of like how they like presented it, like a soft reboot, but then it really is just a continuation of a modern show. Like, it doesn't really feel like a reboot.
But they introduced all the new characters and shit, and they're like kind of doing it. I mean, like every Doctor Who, regeneration is kind of a soft reboot.
I suppose. I think the weirdest part though is like they started off this soft reboot with the 60th anniversary with David Tennant, so like that feels like it should have been the end of the previous version of the show, right?
I think
I don't know,
because when it was Chris to David, they did the same characters all over the place. Rose stayed on, so did her mum and all that. They eventually switched up companions and whatever, but between the 20th anniversary and then new Shooty Who is a completely new cast of characters, isn't it? New companion, new side characters, all that.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose, but then like it was a pretty good soft reboot at first, but then like in the finale they bring back Unit and Kate and Mel and Sutek of all things, like from classic Who.
Like Unit and that can still be in there even if you rebooted the whole show. Like even if they started doing
That's
like a cartoon series, they can still bring Unit in that.
Yeah, I suppose, but like Mel, for example, right? They don't really give her like a fresh new introduction. They kind of just carry on from the previous one they gave her, with David Tennant's season.
Yeah,
I don't know, like it's a weird thing. It is still kind of a soft reboot, like you said, like most Doctors.
it's sort of a semi reboot because it's not even like a soft reboot in the terms of they've rebooted the whole thing just softly. It's like they rebooted some of it.
Yeah, Yeah. Exactly. But anyway, we're already like gravely off topic, or I don't know. Is there even a topic? We kind of just ramble usually, is yeah.
Bro, we're talking about the new season being a soft reboot. How is that off topic? It's not like we're talking about Star Trek all of a sudden.
It's not. Anyway, so Star Trek, right?
Well, I haven't seen Star Trek before.
So it's like a.
You know what? Let's just not talk about that. You know, I know we wanted to. I know you had a heart set, but let's go back to Doccy for this one.
Fuck. Yeah, no, you're right. It wasn't even off topic. I don't know. I'm just like trying to find. Oh shit! I'm trying to find like my I just dropped my 3DS. That's off topic. I'm trying to find like a good line for my yapping, you know, because like I feel like on stream and shit, I started yapping too much or not at all. So I'm trying to find like a perfect balance, I guess.
I just want to mention that we ain't broke, but we haven't even got Switches yet. We're on 3DS still. So, just saying.
Listen.
Switch 2? Nah, we're going to buy Switch 1 first. We're working through it.
Exactly. I was so scared of the Switch 2 price, I went backwards a generation.
I'm actually looking to get a Wii U right now.
Oh, nice.
I think I might take off again, I don't know.
Oh yeah, Wii U stocks are up, dude.
Yeah, and now we're off topic, so...
Yeah. No, that was the topic. I wrote down one question, because I'm super prepared, right? I wanted to say, what is your one thing, like if you could only choose one thing, what would you want improved in this series compared to the previous one?
So, are you talking about the previous one being Shooty's first season?
Yeah.
So, they kind of went with what was it? Mythical vibe? What was it called?
Yeah, like magic, sort of.
Yeah, right. Sort of like a fairy tale kind of esque thing going on. And I liked that. Mm-hmm. I feel like they dropped it kind of quick, in my opinion. They sort of went, we got these goblins, and we got all this magic stuff, and the gauntlet which you can lift anything with. And then they went, and now you got all these gods you have to deal with, and it became kind of like a villain of the week story, you know? Like, different god coming in. I'm the sister of this person. I'm the brother. I'm his dad. And then the Sutek comes in like, Wagwan, I'm the uncle no one likes. And it kind of went from, we're going to bring in some fantasy creatures to, now we're going to do like kind of a weird villain of the week thing. And I just felt like there was no real focus. You know how like in, I think it was Matt's era, they were constantly talking about the silence or something like that. Like there was lots of things that would, like for certain arcs, they would focus on it as in the background big bad whilst doing, you know, your whatever episodes. So I would like that kind of vibe back.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, like they did still pretty much have that last bit. Like they had the one who waits, who turned out to be Sutek or whatever, I guess. But like
that's true.
Yeah, I agree mostly on like the magic stuff. Just in like that, I feel like it was a bit inconsistent. Like you said, like they started off like with goblins and shit, and then they kind of just kept acting as if magic was a big part when it kind of wasn't. Like first episode was like, I mean, aside from the goblins one, it was like babies, space babies.
Yeah.
And then we had like a few aliens, and like in 73 Yards, the alternate universe one with a lady, Unit was like, oh, we've been dealing with a lot of magic stuff, and it's like we haven't actually seen them dealing with any of that apart from, I guess, the toy maker. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, well, was that your word for it?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I agree with that. I think like the main thing I want like fixed in this season is I just feel like, kind of along the lines of what you were saying a little bit, I feel like there was a lot of hand waving in the previous season, just like really basic or quick explanations for everything, as if they didn't actually care about the explanations and just kind of wanted to move past that.
I'll explain later.
Yeah, exactly. But
do we want to talk about Ruby?
Yeah, well,
I have some thoughts on Ruby.
Yeah, God. She'll probably be back this season too, so we'll...
I want to mention, we went to the cinema for the final, like, part 2 of the finale. We were prepared for this. Oh, it's going to be so good. We're going to see it first thing. We're going to pay for it and go sit in these comfy chairs and watch it. And what the fuck? what the fuck is this? What do you mean Ruby is nothing? Ruby is literally no one and nothing and doesn't matter. And the only reason she was anything is because people believe... The god of like, death believed she was something, so it became something, I guess? Or, like, everyone believed it.
So silly.
But he wouldn't kill her because he was so curious on what she was, and she was nothing. And the way they found out was off some computer. You said, but the god of death didn't have internet access. Like, what is this?
Like, I wouldn't even be that upset if, like, it was just like, oh no, she's normal. If it wasn't for the fact they had, like, really clearly set that up and, like, literally gave us false information towards the mystery.
She summoned snow! She wasn't just normal, she had some powers! But her powers came from belief! What are you talking about? I mean, that is a fairy thing, right? You know, you believe in fairies, therefore they can fly, that kind of thing. Like, it's a fairy book, a fairy tale kind of belief makes things happen, you know, Santa Claus and whatever. So I get that, but they did not work it well. They just kind of dumped it at the end, like, oh yeah, it was belief, by the way. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Like, I think such a clear example of how they didn't fucking care about it was when they were like, oh, how did Ruby get her name or whatever? And then they go back to the fucking flashback, and it turns out the mother was pointing at a sign which says Ruby Road, which wasn't there in any of the other 10 times they showed us that flashback, and they act like it's this big, like, reveal. And it's like, no, that wasn't there. You made that up.
In classic Sherlock's, like old books and that, they would give you enough information to work out the plot, whatever you're supposed to work out. But in modern Sherlock, he just pulls shit out of his ass. They go, well, what could this possibly be? And then he just goes, oh, I noticed a rock on the bottom of her shoe that no one else saw because it wasn't on camera at any point, and that means I knew where she was from or some shit. You're just like, oh. It doesn't feel like a aha moment, it feels like a oh moment, like, oh, okay. I guess that's how it works. Yeah,
that kind of shit is bad. They just pull it out of nowhere. But like, I feel like the Doctor Who one was like one of the worst examples of it, because it's not just pulling it out of their ass. They literally show us incorrect information.
Yeah, yeah. It's like me holding up a sign that says Ruby is special, and you go, oh, she must be special. And then I reveal the sign that actually says not special. You're like, oh my god. Ugh.
Exactly. Anyway, that aside, I am excited for this new season. Like, maybe I should have chosen a more positive question to ask first, but it's still my favourite show.
Yeah, what do you think about the terrible end finale? Thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not happy with it, to be honest.
Yeah. I think, though, overall, the last season, I still mostly liked. I don't think it was one of the best seasons ever, but I don't think it was one of the worst. It's just that finale and, like, some other bits left a really bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, and
stinky.
I personally wasn't a fan of a lot of the shit, like in David's one, where he had the sonic screwdriver that could create a force field, or the sonic screwdriver that could silence sound, which kind of makes sense because it's Sonic, but I don't know. I wasn't happy with that kind of stuff.
I quite liked David's shield Sonic, but like...
Yeah,
I mean...
They could have written in some sort of device. Like, perhaps he had a shield generator he was tinkering with at the start, and then he happened to have it on him, so he zapped it and it came to life for that, or some sort of Ex Machina moment, rather than just saying, oh yeah, it can do that now.
I suppose, but like, they've shown him, like, or the Doctor tinkering with their Sonic loads throughout the years, and like, I reckon the Doctor, like, purposefully, or not purposefully, but just kind of nerfs himself all the time, because they've been throughout all time and space, right? They got this time machine that can make anything. They could definitely, like, have way more OP gadgets with him at all times, but they just kind of choose not to. Like, they literally show, like, in that one episode where they go into the TARDIS, it can make anything. So the fact he just comes in with a screwdriver is like, alright, he's not doing much. So.
It is kind of goofy now you mention it. I never really thought about that. Man's got, like, the arsenal of God, and he's like, screwdriver.
Yay! Oh no, but he's got a psychic paper as well. Oh.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. I like the Doctor because he doesn't carry guns. He doesn't carry, like, insane tools. He seems unarmed and undangerous, but his brain is what his weapon is. He uses that to hack things or trick people or say things and stall for time and then stand on top of the trapdoor that no one else saw. That's such a cool moment. For instance, in the, what's it called? Silence in the Library, where he's standing on the trapdoor and chatting away to them, because it seems like he's got himself in a bad spot. It seems like he's fucked up, but really he's one step ahead of them, and that's a Doctor I like. So if he did just pull out like an Inspector Gadget's arsenal of bullshit, then I would be a bit less inclined to enjoy it. I think that's what I don't like about the force field. It's just kind of like, it's not outsmarting, it's just I happen to have a thing that stops this exact, a corridor of shots, I'm going to draw a box, that kind of stuff, It's not outsmarting, it's just having something, and I guess that's what I don't like. It's not the pulling out of his asses so much, but, just having the thing in his hand that can beat anyone.
Yeah, I hear you. Like, even in Classic Coup, they got rid of, like, the sonic screwdriver for, like, 5 seasons just because, like, they felt the show was kind of relying on it too much. I mean, like, I think that can make for more interesting scenarios where, like, he just doesn't have a Sonic. I mean, like, David was only back for 3 episodes, and in one of them, they took away his Sonic for that episode, and I think it was the best one out of the 3.
Yeah, I just think that if they're gonna make him have powerful stuff, it shouldn't be his Sonic, because his Sonic is this basic, simple tool that unlocks doors, and that's about it. Like, sort of gives him access to areas, rather than, because that'd be really bad if in the plot they were like, we gotta go to this tower, oh, it's locked. Or, so, like, it makes sense to have the Sonic, but, like, if you're having to write situations where his Sonic gets taken away from him because it's too powerful, I feel like you should just revert it to its old state.
Yeah. Like, I feel like the Sonic works best as, like, a tool kind of for, like, speeding up the plot a bit. I hate when they, like, just randomly introduce new stuff that it can do, Like, it's had so many weird features over the years. Like, remember that one Christopher Eccleston episode where he just cuts wires with it? And I'm like, what? You can do that?
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that I don't mind so much, because, like you say, I think it's just speeding up the plot. Like, oh, they have to get through this chain fence. Oh, it cuts wire. Like, that's not so bad. But when it's like, I don't know, the Sonic can create a force field, and I'm harping on that, but, like, it's just a bit too convenient for a lot of situations.
Yeah, it's a bit OP. That being said, though, I reckon this season will be pretty good. Like, I feel like the previous season, like, it was mostly written by the same guy, right? Which I sometimes like him, but I don't think he should be writing all the episodes. This season, we're gonna get a lot more, like, varied writers, so we might get a lot more of the classic Doctor Who stuff that you like. I'm optimistic.
I mean, I guess we'll see. We're about to watch the first one, aren't we?
We shall. Shall we get into it?
Yeah, I suppose, if the day calls for it. Let's get going.
I am the last of the Time Lords. I'm from a different planet. An evolved life form? And I have waited for the day of your arrival. I'm the Doctor.
Doctor what?
Just the Doctor.
All right, then. I'm called the nurse.
Good team.
Okay, so the thing I wanted to mention, she went through the time fracture because was it because the guy who became a robot owl said to get her? Was that why they kidnapped her in the first place?
Well, it seems like nothing from this episode caused the time fracture.
No, I'm not talking about the time fracture. I was about the reason why she got kidnapped. Was that because of him? Because he said, "Go get my queen" or whatever.
Yeah. So it was like a paradoxy thing.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Like, he said to go get her, so she got kidnapped. But the reason he got kidnapped is because she got kidnapped.
Yeah, so time paradox caused by the time fracture. Like, that's not supposed to be able to happen, but then, like, wibbly wobbly happened.
Yeah.
And then it, boom, happened.
So we've got a paradox first thing, which is super interesting. I always like time travel stuff in my time travel show, because sometimes we just don't get enough of it. So
Same.
I will say that's immediately interesting, because, I mean, I like in the Haruhi movie where they have that closed paradox thing, which I adore that kind of stuff. So he kidnapped her because she kidnapped him, essentially. I mean, she demanded it by accident, and he probably did it on purpose. And that's the time fracture. We don't know why time fracture's there, but the time fracture enabled that paradox to occur. It's super interesting. I like that.
Me too. I think it's a pretty cool concept.
Yeah.
Overall, I quite liked that episode. I thought it was pretty good. Great start to a new season.
I'm nonplussed. I wasn't a big fan of that. I think the acting really threw me off. And I know we disagree on this a bit, but the fact that she was basically absconded by aliens, taken to a new planet, and then told that time travel exists, and her moment reaction was just kind of like, oh, damn it. It just felt very like, has she experienced this before? Does she know what is going on? She's not screaming or freaking out or denying it and running away. She's just been like, okay. And then she's like, I'll turn myself in. I'll reveal what the thing to the rebels are, and I'll turn myself in. I'll do that. As if she knows what's going on. It just felt very
Yeah.
convenient that she wasn't overreacting. Obviously, to skip past that part of the plot, because we can't be spending 20 minutes of her coming to terms with what's going on. Otherwise, it would be a very short episode otherwise, in terms of the actual plot. But still, I didn't like it. It felt very disingenuous to me. I couldn't really get into her because she was just kind of like, okay, yeah, this is happening now. Alright.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I mean, side note, sort of, though, like, I mean, maybe there is another reason, like, that she seemed kind of used to it, and we just don't know it yet, like, time fracture shit.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if that comes to be, then I'll be like, oh, that's why it felt so off.
Yeah, but I mean, like, to me, I feel like she reacted a lot more than, like, most companions, right? Like, Rose, like, had the initial panic of, like, almost dying, but then she was kind of just like, okay, I guess that happened, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, Martha kind of just accepted her situation right away, but, like, Belinda, she started getting kidnapped, instantly started panicking, and then was like, oh my god, tell my parents I love him, that sort of thing. And then, like, when she was actually in the ship, she was just kind of trying to, like, find reason, or, like, a reason for it, like, what the fuck is happening? This isn't even right, like, if this is happening, like, you should be going after the guy, not me. Yeah, I don't know, I bought her reactions, and, like, that stuff aside, I really like the new dynamic of, like, okay, so I didn't really like the Doctor and Ruby as a companion duo, mostly, I think, because it felt like there was no conflict at all between them. Like, they were always just on the same page, super buddy, but, like, now with Belinda, she's not always doing what the Doctor tells her to, and, like, the conflict between them kind of seems like the overarching thing of, like, she wants to get home, and he kind of can't, right? So, like, she's kind of a reluctant companion. We haven't properly had that.
That felt kind of funny. I mean, we had Donna, obviously, the reluctant companion, like, the classic, very reluctant. She was abducted. I agree. I do like the dynamic of a Doctor who doesn't get exactly aligned with their companion. I think Matt Smith with Amy was my favourite, because she was very take charge and gun-ho wherever she wants, but also kind of knew when to listen to the Doctor when something's going wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I think that dynamic also made Amy one of my favourites as well.
Yeah, I do like that. I don't honestly remember much of Ruby. I feel like she didn't leave an impact on me, and I've got a terrible memory anyway, so I can't really comment because I just don't remember much of her.
That's fair.
She wasn't that big on me. So, is what it is. But the new companion, I feel like she has a clear-cut character in this first episode. She is strong-minded. That was very much there. And it was, in my opinion, a bit shoehorned, because she was just kind of like, no, I'm going to do the exact opposite of what you're saying. At parts, which felt a bit like, oh, okay, so you're kind of saying she's a strong, independent character. She's not the Doctor's servant, but it felt a bit heavy-handed, in my opinion.
I mean, like in that initial throne room bit, right? Like, she kind of caught onto the code stuff that the Doctor was saying and listened to him there, right? Like, so...
Yeah, I'm not saying she always did that. I'm just saying there were a couple of scenes where she did that, and it felt a bit like you're just trying to make it very clear, put it right on the nose that she is not going to listen to the Doctor sometimes.
Fair enough. I personally think that's fine though, right? Like, it could get a bit too much later on, but like...
I just hope she doesn't get combative, because I don't like it when the Doctor's like, this is the plan. They're like, no, because I want to go home, so I'm going to do this instead. And it's like, completely go the other way. And like, but that ruins the episode because she's creating this conflict now, rather than just kind of being a part of it.
Yeah. I hope they don't go too far with it either, because then it can get like too annoying. Like, I've been watching like some classic Who, and they had this sort of dynamic with a companion called Tegan. But like, I did feel like sometimes she got too combative. Like, she just didn't want to be there. I mean, I know that's kind of what they're going for here, but like, if they do it properly, where it's like she doesn't want to be here, but then she like, you can like noticeably see her start to enjoy it more, or like adapt to the situation. Then I think it can be really good.
I mean, so far they've written her into a place where she's saying, I don't want to be here, I'm not one of your adventures, which felt almost too familiar, as if she was, you know, a long-time person who knows the Doctor and knows what he's like.
That is true. Like, how does she even know that he goes on adventures, like, much anyway?
Yeah, like, I'm not... just one of your adventures because I know you do all that kind of stuff. It's like, what are you talking about? How do you possibly know what you're on about? Regardless, she assumed a lot, let's just say. She's put in a position right now where she is against him. She's saying, I don't want to be here. I'm not an adventure for you to go on. And now she's kind of roped into it. And I feel like that's putting her in a position where they're either going to dismiss that, making it feel kind of weird that she said that, or they're going to lean into it and she's going to be like, I don't want to be here. What are we doing here? What's the point of this the whole time?
I feel like they will kind of run with it and make her combative, but I think if they like pull it off like they did this episode and then like slowly make her soften in that respect, then I think it could be good. Like she didn't want to, like she obviously didn't want to be here in this episode because she got kidnapped, but like once she actually understood what was happening, she kind of reacted to the situation. Like she saw people in pain, so she did her job and was like, hey, I am going to help.
Sure. You know, in Pokemon, when Ash first meets Misty is because he nicked her bike, but then he meets Brock and Brock just kind of like comes in because he likes them. So Misty was dragged into it, whereas Brock came in because he had wanted to. I feel, I haven't watched it in a while, but I think to remember that. I think that's two ways you can write a character well. Either you're roped into it and you just kind of because the whole show she's always a bit combative with Ash, who's like the main character, but she's there still, and she's there for him, and she's always there to back him up and stuff. She's that well-written combative character, and I feel like Brock is the well-written I want to be that character, because he's also always there, but Brock's never very combative. He finds lots of solutions and he's there to help everyone out. I just hope it falls into one of those two categories. It's either combative and a good character but is also there for the Doctor, or she just kind of falls into being a companion, which I kind of hope she doesn't, to be honest, because it doesn't suit her.
Yeah, I hope they can pull it off well. Like, the combativeness can't be her full character, and I'm optimistic they'll do it well, because, like, I feel like they've already utilised, like, the fact she's a nurse pretty well, and they showed, like, a bit of her life before any of this, so, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I disagree with the nurse thing. The fact they said she's a nurse at the start, right? She had a little montage of her, talking to patients, saying, you need an IV drip of penicillin and whatever. So they were setting up that she's, a medical person. And then as soon as she arrives in the rebel camp, she's immediately like, there's an IV drip. It's empty. Can I feel that? And it just felt a little like, what are you... Like, why are you so comfortable in this situation? Again, alien planet, just been kidnapped, all that sort of shit happened within the same day. But you're so comfortable, you're just like, oh, okay, people need help, I'm going to help. It just, I feel a little bit more tense, a little bit more like, oh shit, I don't know what I'm doing, maybe I can help. Rather than just sort of like, straight up, okay, down to help.
Well, I feel like that sort of scene, like, if anything, like, she's clinging to some familiarity, right? Like, she recognises something that is exactly like what she does at home, so I think it makes sense that she'd, gravitate towards it. Yeah,
that's a fair point. Also, when she saw the poorly named X-ray non-ray fucking X-ray thing, I feel like they could have just said it was like a see-through cloak or call it like a peer-in or something. I don't know. They could have named it better, but I suppose it's a Doctor using Earth lingo to describe it. When he uses the X-ray blanket, she reacted more to that than she did to being kidnapped. And again, I know we disagree with it, but this is what I saw. She went, oh my god, this thing, you can see through! And he was like, yeah, it's X-ray. And he started explaining it. She was like, oh, that's interesting. More than being kidnapped, but she was like, oh, I've been kidnapped. Tell my mom that I'm going. Okay, bye. Like that kind of thing. She wasn't like, oh my god, no, I don't want to be kidnapped. And that being dragged. She was just walking behind them, casually. It just felt so... I don't know.
I mean, I suppose her reactions were a bit, like, unbalanced. Like, she didn't really react that much to being on the planet. But, like, I still kind of think her initial reaction to everything was fine. Maybe I need to rewatch it. I don't know.
Well, I think you buy it. I just don't. I'm just not, I don't know, convinced that she was... I mean, that's it. As an actor, you're supposed to convince the audience that that's how you're feeling. I didn't believe that's how she was feeling. She seemed like an actor to me. Like in terrible movies, people were like, what? That's happening now? It's like, okay, you clearly, you're not actually reacting to it, you're just reading lines,
Yeah, that's fair. Like, a lot of people really liked Ruby in previous season. She just didn't click with me. Like, I think I think just a lot of things, it just clicks for some people, it doesn't for others, innit?
Yeah. So, overall,
yeah,
I think it was about a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan.
Fair. I quite liked it, but I've realized recently my ranking system is a bit stupid because I pretty much rank everything in between like a 6 or a 9. Oh lol, 6, 9. But it's like I usually.
So you're saying 6 is your 0 and 9 is your 10. Is that how you're gonna do it?
Kinda. Well, no, I mean I suppose like if it's really bad, like then I'd go under a 6. But like 6 for me is like I don't really like it. 7 is I like it. 8 is it's great. 9 is it's fantastic.
Sure.
So using that current ranking system, I think I'd give it like a 7. Right now I'd maybe go a bit higher, but I feel like with rewatches it will stick at a 7 because it's not exactly fantastic. I just think I'm excited for New Doctor and I thought it was pretty good.
So to discuss my ranking, I would have given it a much lower rank because I think the episode in itself was very quick and the plot was just kind of brushed over and rushed. It didn't feel like it could have been a 2-parter, to be honest, but there was basically no scenes with the rebels. They didn't establish much. They just kind of dropped it on your lap, and then they took it straight to the leader, and then he said the one line that I really didn't like, that part where he says the same thing the other guy said, or because he's the same guy, and she's like, wait, but he said that. I don't know, I feel like if you were kidnapped in an alien planet and someone just happened to say the same phrasing from 17 years ago, you probably wouldn't remember nor care. But I mean, regardless of that, the plot felt very glossed over. It didn't stick to me. It wasn't a strong plot. It was just kind of there's rebels on the planet and whatever. The only reason I'm giving it, because I would have given like a 4 out of 10, but the only reason I'm giving it the extra couple of points is because it sets up an interesting premise of the time fracture thing and the paradox. It proves to this character being an exact genetic match to her ancestor in the future and shit. It's like, ooh, what's that going to be and that kind of stuff. I think the setup for future plots is strong, but I feel like the plot, if you extracted those parts and just did that plot, it was very quick and very messy. I didn't like it. That's
totally fair. Like, I agree in a lot of senses. Like, I think a big problem with this era is a lot of things do just seem a bit rushed. Like, they've gone back to 45-minute episodes when I feel like this era could really use like 50 or an hour-long episodes just to like have more time to flesh things out. And like you said, I didn't really care about the actual rebels. Like I understood the Doctor's reactions in that, like, oh, okay, he doesn't like seeing people die and stuff, the normal Doctor stuff, but the characters themselves, I didn't really care about. Yeah, there wasn't enough time to care about him. And
well, I said that in the show when he starts crying. I said, I assume because he's been here for years, so we're supposed to have gathered that as viewers. He's been here for years, okay, so that's why he's so upset. But there was no impact to us because we didn't know these people. They were just, stormtroopers dying. It's like, okay,
Yeah, that kind of goes back to like the hand wavy stuff I was talking about in the pre-show, I guess. But like, they kind of seem to skip a lot of beats to like get to the point. Like, they don't show us the actual reasons why we should care. They just like are like, hey, look, he's crying. This is sad. This you should be caring, Which is a shame, and I hope they get better with it over time. Maybe with some of the other writers. I don't know who writes the next episode. I think this one was the same. Was it Russell T Davies? Same guy as pretty much all episodes last season. I'm looking forward to having new writers again.
Well, I'm calling you out, writer. Whatever your name is, this is directed to you because I know you're listening. Do better. Be better.
Holy shit. You got him. He's crying right now. But yeah. No, I'm very much looking forward to the rest. I'm skeptical about the mystery. Like, I know you said that was a bit which most interested you, and I do think it is a very interesting setup. But just like based off the last season, the payoff is what I'm most cautious about this season. Like, I don't know if they can pull it off, and we'll have to see though. We'll have to see.
If there's anything like last payoff,
Oh god.
we're gonna be we're in for a treat. Put it that way.
Indeed.
We're gonna go to the movie theater once again. We're gonna sit there and they're gonna go, oh, and the connection, the biological connection, it was nothing. The TARDIS made a mistake.
Yeah.
We'll go, oh, okay.
So the twist is, she actually did just have really strong genes. All her ancestors look like that.
The master will come back as, I don't know, the mistress or the master again, who cares? They'll come back and they'll be like, I'm going to take over the world, but just before I do, why was she connected to the biological thing? I need to know before I exact my perfect plot and kill everyone. And the doctor's like, it was nothing. And he goes, no!
I will not press this win button until I find out. I swear. The doctor just walks up, turns it off, just like, cool, okay.
Shit, man, I beat you. What was it, by the way? Oh, yeah, it was nothing.
Fuck! Runs away.
You son of a bitch!
I've been fooled! Can't do anything now, can't turn the machine back on. Runs away.
You've killed me!
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know. It could be anything.
It could be.
Well,
It could be anything.
anything.
Well, I think that sort of wraps it all up.
Yeah. Peter says 10 out of 10, best episode ever. Andre says 0 out of 10, worst episode ever. GG's, good game.
Okay, so that's pretty much the end of the episode then.
Yep. Thank you everyone for listening. If you enjoyed
welcome.
the show, thank you Peter, then consider liking, subscribing and commenting. Let us know what you thought of the episode and the Doctor Who episode. You thought I was talking about the Doctor Who episode. Oh, fooled.
And for this week's question, if you had your own TARDIS, where and when would you go first?
Find out next week.
We're doing this weekly?
I don't know.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Oh,
Goodbye.
well, see you guys later.
See ya.
Bye. Bye.
Goodbye.